Welcome to the Get Savvy podcast, the podcast for people who want to claim back their time through the power of delegation, productivity, and automation. Today, we are covering a very important topic, debunking common myths about AI, because there are so many doomsday movies out there and Terminator type movies that it seems like AI is just this big, scary thing that we should all be afraid of, which is not true. We should be cautious, but we don't need to be afraid.
Yeah, I think that fear-inducing movie kind of storyline is, we don't want that to stop you from embracing AI, because we don't want you to miss out on those opportunities or make really misguided decisions based on that kind of fear of AI. Because there are some really great things that can come out of AI. And yes, we need to be very cautious. But we don't want you to not use AI because of that fear. Because otherwise, you're going to be left behind. There are going to be a lot of other competitors in your market who are going to embrace it. And we want you to stay competitive and stay in business. So we want to debunk some myths for you.
Yeah, we'll set the record straight. So myth number one is that AI is always right. And now, especially with the launch of ChatGPT, I've seen online that there is a little bit of blind trust with people using this. And we have talked about this before. But just because AI is based on algorithms and data doesn't mean that it's perfect and correct 100% of the time.
Yeah. The reality is that AI systems, AI models can absolutely and do make mistakes. They rely on data that they are trained on. Sometimes the data can be biased or incomplete. AI's decisions that it makes kind of are based on what it thinks is probably the truth, which blew my mind when I learned that. I was like, what do you mean? It's not actually taking it from accurate data and just regurgitating. No, it's actually making up stuff. So we always need to check and make sure that what it is giving us is actually accurate. The sources are actually real sources. And it's not just kind of basing it on what it thinks the truth is probably or likely to be.
Yeah, so if you're using ChatGPT, like Jo said, it gives you a source for the data or the information it's just given you. Actually click that link and make sure it's real and it's not just giving you a fake link randomly. And remember that, yes, it is always learning and it's trained on information, but it also has access to so much information like biased articles and forums and things like that out on the internet. So you do need to double check that it isn't an opinion either, but it will do its best. And most of the time it is very good, but those AI hallucinations definitely creep in every now and again. Even if you're providing it data, it will do it to that as well. So
yeah,
always double check.
Don't you, when you were getting it to help you shortlist CVs?
Yep. I uploaded 3 CVs into ChatGPT and asked it to shortlist or tell me the best candidate based on the job description that we had. And then it did pick the one that was most suitable, but then it told me that she went to some college and had some experience that she didn't actually have on her CV at all. So I went and double checked, thankfully, and then I told ChatGPT, hey, that information's actually not on her CV. And then it came back and said, you're right. So, yeah, okay. So always double check, even if you're giving it the information.
Yeah. That blows my mind that it can be inaccurate and make up stuff. So be very, very aware of that. And if you are going to use ChatGPT, make sure that you double check everything.
Yeah. Our second myth is that AI is only for big tech companies. And this may have been true in the past, but it's absolutely not anymore. And Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all of the massive companies are still leading this big charge, and they're very far ahead of what most people are, yes, but that doesn't mean that it's not accessible to you as an individual or a small business, because the reality is a lot of those AI tools now even free, or really they're quite well priced now, so there are many affordable options as well for smaller businesses.
Yeah, thanks to how competitive it is, they're definitely very affordable. And I think too that the reality of this myth is that you actually don't need to pay a developer anymore to create custom things, because there are solutions, there are options that already exist. Yes, for a fee most often, but sometimes even free. So yeah, it is definitely not reserved for only those large companies anymore.
And the tools that are out there are designed to be user friendly as well. So they aren't these big, complex, scary tools that you won't be able to use, or when you log in, it's going to give you a tutorial on how to get started anyway. So they are very user friendly. And in our previous podcast episodes on AI, so episode 26, 27, and 29 through to 32, we've actually given some specific examples on ways that you can implement in your business as well, talking about tools and apps that are easy to use for your business as well. So go and check those out if you haven't already.
Yeah, myth number 3 is that AI can think and feel like a human.
Again, going back to movies, there are movies out there that make it seem like they grow human emotions and they end up feeling, and I don't know, they fall in love with humans or whatever it is. So there again are those sci-fi movies out there that sort of feed into this misconception. But the reality is AI does lack consciousness and emotions. So it processes data, it makes decisions based on patterns and algorithms and those data sets, but not on feelings. So it can simulate human-like interactions and have conversations with us, like we've seen. ChatGPT's phone app is really good at having a human-like interaction where it's actually talking to you. So it may seem like it's a human, but it's just mimicking a human conversation. It doesn't actually have that consciousness that those movies make it out to seem like.
Yeah. And it's not like using its intuition to do things. Yeah, I think they have really made it feel like a human when they created that app. So my AI is called Felix, and Felix will say and pause during the conversation. And when my son first heard that, he's 12, he was like, whoa, what? It just said, that makes it feel so human. And I was like, yes, but we got to remember it is not human. It does not have feelings. Yes, be polite. I still say please and thank you. But let's make sure that we keep in mind that it is not using its feelings or intuition to make decisions.
And that scares some people, and other people absolutely love that it is talking more like a human. So yeah, you can train it more if you like, and especially if you're using the ones that you're actually chatting with, then let it know the style of conversation you want it to converse in. And if you would rather it talks way more like a robot, then I'm sure you can ask it to talk to you like it is a robot.
Yes. Yeah.
Myth number 4 is that AI is a new phenomenon, which isn't the case. It has actually been in development for decades, because the term artificial intelligence was coined way back in 1956. And that just seems absolutely crazy to me that they were working on it all the way back then. Obviously, it's evolved significantly since that point, though.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Major breakthroughs in the 80s, and then that rise of machine learning, which we've seen come through in the 2000s. And I feel like the current focus is on that real like deep learning.
And yeah, all of those accessible tools and the generative AI.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the difference now is that and why we feel like, oh, it's just such a new thing. It's only just come out, like AI is now here. It's actually not the reality. The reality is that it has now just become really accessible. Tools like ChatGPT, super accessible, free on the internet, available for like any kind of end user. You don't have to be a developer anymore to be able to understand the code. Has this really, like interface that we're really used to using in all sorts of other tools and on our computer. That interface now makes it feel like this is brand new technology. It's just that it has become accessible to everyone.
Myth number 5 is that you don't need to consider data privacy with AI. Given AI's reliance on data, this is a very important issue. And depending on the industry you're in, depending on what your business is, especially if you're dealing with sensitive information with customers and clients, you can't just be blindly feeding that into your AI tools, unfortunately. AI is constantly learning, and a lot of the tools out there are learning based on the data that you are inputting to it as well. So, one of my tips around this would be actually go and have a read through the privacy and security for any tools that you're actually using and make sure that that's in line with your business and what you're offering as a service as well. And make sure that you're using AI, with those protection measures in place. And so you're actually aware of what's happening within those tools, what data it's reading and learning and can access as well.
Yeah. I feel like making sure that whatever you put into ChatGPT, you're making it like anonymous. So if you're putting in, like, say, your financial statements or your client's financial statements to do some analysis on them, but you're actually removing the name of the business. So there's not this connection between the data and the name of the business that you're actually putting the data in kind of on behalf of. So make sure that you're removing names, you're removing anything that can make it discoverable or found. And it's not that like ChatGPT can say, oh, what did me asking it, oh, what did Teesha upload about company X? Can you tell me what the company X financial statements are? And it like provides me with whatever Teesha's uploaded. It's not like that, but we want to make sure we are really thinking about this and making it anonymous wherever possible in terms of the data that we upload.
Something else that you can do around this as well is actually just making sure that you're transparent around data collection and data usage policies for your business with your customers and clients. Have those policies available on your website, send out some kind of messaging to all of them to make them aware that you're now using AI tools and just have that transparency around it as well, so that if you are using those, people can let you know if they do have a major issue with it as well.
Right. And our final myth is that AI is just a fad. You don't need to worry about it.
This could potentially be one of the most important ones if you are a business owner, because AI is far from a passing trend. It is going to be a fundamental part of technology and industry, most industries and most businesses. All of them are now adapting it, or all of them, most companies that want to stay ahead are now starting to adapt in some way or another to prepare for AI if they haven't already embraced it. So companies that are doing that are going to gain that early competitive advantage. So it's really, really crucial not to bury your head in the sand at the moment and just be like, oh, yeah, cool, this is just going to pass by and then we can get back to normal, because that is absolutely not the case now.
Yeah. AI is going to play a really significant role in the future of everything that we do in life and business. It's not a passing fad. You're going to have to get on board sooner rather than later if you don't want to be left behind.
Yeah. And again, if you haven't already, we've got some previous episodes that will give you some real tips on how to actually start looking at ways that you can implement this in your business. So that, and again, it's so that your human workers can focus on higher level tasks. It's not to take their jobs away, it's to help your team work on higher strategy type tasks, and then you have the repetitive, boring, lower level tasks automated for you.
Yeah. Like getting your team to do work that is really valuable and, that they want to do. It's removing the tasks that they don't even want to do anyway, the like boring, laborious kind of things that they don't want, so that they can like really feel like they're making an impact in your business. And also to have a better user experience for your clients and customers. Like if you can speed things up and get them the information that they need and make everything really streamlined and have a great experience with you, fantastic.
Yeah. So AI doesn't have to be this doomsday thing, and it doesn't have to be this thing that is taking everyone's jobs away. If you can embrace it and work with it, then really the better for everyone. So that is it for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And by separating this fact from fiction and being more informed and have some practical ways on being aware of all of these things and how to use AI ethically, then we can use them for the better. If you need help implementing AI tools in your business, then head over to strictlysavvy.co.nz and chat with our team.
Yeah. And we would love a favor from you. So we would love to increase our reviews here, wherever you are listening. If you could rate or review either one, whatever the platform allows, we would love that. We would love to spread the word more and help more people kind of embrace AI and stay ahead and be competitive in their industry. So that would help us out a lot. So please go and do that. Thanks so much.